Growing up, I loved Disney and animation films and anything that had to do with film in general, but cartoons especially. The behind-the-scenes features, Bambi for Disney, they had a behind-the-scenes featurette at the end, and they literally showed the cell animation going on to the background, and I just loved that idea. And so drawing has always just been a part of who I am. I didn't really understand or realize for a while that I wanted to do art as a career. I wanted to be an architect because I, and still am, very interested in architecture and skyscrapers, and I was realizing that it's a lot more math and it's not so much drawing, and that kind of bummed me out a little bit because I was really wanting to just design the buildings and draw them conceptually. A representative from the college that I did end up going to came to visit our senior class, and right away there was just this reconnection of a love for illustration and art and animation. And so I started in 2010 at the American Academy of Art, which is downtown Chicago, and went there and graduated 2015. My job is to be the pencil or the paintbrush for those who can't creatively execute their vision. And so I am trying to get their vision as close as possible, whether that's through a children's book, project, or anything like that, taking the words and trying to create as many variations as possible of this character. You're trying to just make sure before putting so much effort and energy into this that you have it right. 80% research, 20% execution. A mixture of what they're gonna look like, but who they are also. So there's a lot of stylistic questions that I might ask, which is, do you want them short, tall? What kind of physique do they have? How old are they? What kind of hair do you want them to have? What kind of clothes do they like? But then I also want to know, what is the character thinking and why do they feel that way? With characters too, and the thing that I find magical is that they are just images. Either if it was in early Disney, they're just lines on a page, or now it's just rendered computer images, and yet we're relating to them emotionally and they're actually real, and so I find that very fascinating. There was an event that I was volunteering at downtown Chicago. An art director approached me and all he said was, have you ever thought about incorporating yourself into your art? And I said, what do you mean? He's like, well, we've all seen a painting of a cafe and there's people in there, but if you made one person or even all of them little people, we'd see that as a different painting. I couldn't even believe that I'd never thought about incorporating myself in that way. And that just freed me. And so in my pursuit of trying to find who I am as an artist and my own identity in terms of the art I create personally, I then just dove into this idea of trying to either advocate or just bring up awareness or just include little people in a way that's just everyday life. I think with little people, it's one area that many overlook or just don't even realize. And so I know that a lot of the things I try to focus on or recreate are things that other little people are going through on a day-to-day basis. I had to relearn kind of everything I knew with prior anatomy, but more fast than slow. I just embraced this new area of, oh, this is a lot easier to draw myself, and I know this because I know how that feels or looks, because that's where my arms go. It took a little while, but it was exciting and rewarding to see that there could be possibilities with incorporating myself, little people, into artwork, illustrations. Because similar with film, I feel like only more recently are there different views on little person actors, because for a while it was just a sidekick, it was funny or something physical, but then with anything with Peter Dinklage or Game of Thrones, all of a sudden there was this focus of, oh, he's a person, like he's just another character. And I think with my art too, I'll definitely focus on either funny moments or hardships in life that you run into as a little person.